What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to a brand new video today. We're going to be going over the Blockchain Brawlers economy updates. They made a new Medium article and they discuss, all the differences in crafting. So, you got your gold NFTs going to be burned at a much higher rate because the costs are a lot more. Brawl changes for crafting as well. They posted a Medium article discussing all these different changes. I got my little notes next to me and I'm going to be going over with you guys, giving my little thoughts on it. I wanted to make it so you guys didn't have to pull out your calculators, start crunching numbers for the next hour to figure out all the differences they made. Just sit back, relax, grab yourself a snack, and then you got to hit the like button and subscribe button, of course. And let's dissect this article. Here we have the game economy changes Medium article they just made a few days ago. I'm going to quickly skim past their little debriefing they give before they give you all the statistics and the different changes they made, the important stuff that most people actually want to know about. The main point they discuss right here and go over is the use of Scotties and really just farming with them. If you guys didn't know, you can go to this website called waxclaim.io and you can see right here the amount of distribution in brawlers, and as you can see, it's completely in whack. The commons right here for the Scotties, there's 5,353 of them. The uncommons are 78, the rares are 29, and the epics are 236, and you've of course got the auction legendaries. The distribution of rarity is just completely in whack, absolutely. The main reason for this is really people are using Scotties as an absolute gold mine. If you had a Scotty which has about a 7% drop rate of gold, as it says right here, and you put it with a brass knuckles, the brass knuckles itself would give it a 3% extra increase, making it about a 10% chance drop rate for gold NFTs every time you brawl. The rest is kind of history. There's 5,353 of these. People were stacking Scotties, using them to brawl, and then what they're doing is they have let's say 8 Scotties. You have about not 80% chance, but pretty close to get a gold NFT every time you brawl. The proof is right here. You have 1,632 brass knuckles made, as you can see, so it's just clearly that the distribution's way off and people were just using one kind of strat to make the most amount of earnings. And I mean, you can kind of see if you're looking at the chart for the gold NFTs where the price shift happened. People are sort of realizing, that you could have these Scotties and stack them all up. So at the beginning, probably not as many people were just doing it, and it was kind of slow start. Gold prices were really high, and then as people were realizing, oh wow, I'm getting a lot of gold, an insane amount of gold from just stacking Scotties, the price slowly went down from a $400 peak area, the 80s, 70s, and then now it's going from $10 to $20 because it's just so easy to get gold. There's a really big excess of it and not enough of a burn rate. Now, of course, the team knowing this, they're trying to, change it up and make it so there's a different dynamic to the game and it's not just one kind of strat. First big change you can see right here, they changed Scotty's gold drop rate from 7% to 6%, Barry 6%, 5%. As you can see, it's just a 1% change across the board, everything going down just 1%. Now, this 1% might not seem the most massive change, but when you see the burn rates and how much, crafting costs went up, you're gonna be oh wow, this is all kind of adding up. Now, the next big change to talk about is the brawler recipe changes. Clearly, there's some differences in crafting recipe prices. Now, talking about burn rate, you can clearly see the difference here. You're going from 6 gold NFTs to make a Scotty to 13, so you're over doubling your NFTs needed to be burned. The Brawl went up as well, definitely not nearly as much as the gold NFTs, but there is a change. You have 1,000 more costs down. The Berry Brawl amount that's needed clearly went up a lot more than the Scotty amount. You went from 13,000 Brawl to 18,000 Brawl. It's about a 5,050 Brawl difference. And then you got the gold amount for the berries just about doubled. You can clearly see a trend here. They're trying to make gold NFTs be burned at a much higher rate, so Scotty farming's not the main objective. Now, after the berry, the changes do get a little bit less drastic. Brawl amount actually goes down this time, with the gold amount going up, but definitely not as much. It's not a double change, just 6 more added instead of an extra 10. And finally, for crafting a colt, the price did go down entirely. So, the gold amount went down as well as the brawl amount. You can see it went from 46,400 to 32,500 brawl, and then for the gold, it just went down 1. The price drops of the rares and epics clearly, to make people not want to go straight for Scotties and farm them. They're trying to incite change and variety, clearly. On to the next changes being brawl amount gained. You can see how they changed the amount of brawl you're gaining from a Scotty every time you brawl. So it went from 70 to 61, so the margins you'll be getting in profit are definitely going down considerably. Barry's earnings stay unchanged. Johnny's went up by 2. You have Colts that went up by 5, and you have the Ric Flairs and the Legendaries that went up by 5 as well. Obviously, you have the Scotty being the biggest change of them all, but it is really cool that they are, adding a little bit more brawl earned for Johnny's and Colts, and then they're decreasing the crafting amount needed, definitely inciting more variety. The next point they got to, it's really a major point of this whole thing, was how crafting was way too spread out in the time period. The rings had way too much usages, your gear had way too much usages. They're trying to compress it and make it so you have to craft more often. That in turn making the burn rate higher, and it'll also make the gold NFT price, kind of go up and bring back the market a little bit. Definitely take it away from the $10 and $20 range. I can definitely say it's going to be more exciting for the players getting a gold NFT drop and not just being a $10 drop, and it being something that's even worth maybe $100 more often. Now, getting to the most important part, in my opinion, this is going to be massively changing the game because crafting amount is going to go way up, so burn rate's just gonna skyrocket. And as we talked about, they're trying to make crafting happen much more often. So as you can see, they changed all the matches. So you have, your common ring went from 350 matches to 75 matches, really compressing it. Rare ring went from 1400 matches to 300 matches. You have your legendary ring, it went from 2,800 to 600 matches. This is a 78.5% decrease across the board entirely. Now that you know you're gonna have to craft a lot more often, let's move on to the next thing, the cost of the recipes. So the common ring went from 3,200 Brawl and 5 gold NFTs cost to 675 Brawl and 2 gold NFTs cost. Now with that being said, for the current crafting price, the 675 Brawl and 2 gold NFTs, to get the same 350 matches, you're going to be spending 50 extra Brawl in total. And you're also going to be spending about 4.3 extra gold NFTs. Moving on to the rares, like I said, the same across the board. It's a 78% decrease from 1,400 matches to 300 matches. Now for the rare rings, the crafting changed from 12,000 Brawl and 12 gold NFTs to 2,650 Brawl and 8 gold NFTs. Now to get the same 1,400 matches you normally get for your 12,000 Brawl, the Brawl amount actually went up by 366. Gold having gone up an exponential amount as well. It went from 12 gold NFTs to get the same amount to 37 now. So using the current crafting to try and get those 1,400 matches, it'd be 12,366 Brawl and 37 gold. Now onto the legendary rings, from 2,800 matches to 600 matches. Now with the old crafting price of the legendary ring being 20,000 Brawl to get your 2,800 matches, they changed it. So to get the same amount now using the new crafting price and everything, it'd be 24,033 Brawl. So a 4,033 Brawl difference to get the same amount. Gold having gone up exponentially as well. It used to be 20 gold NFTs to get 2,800 matches, but now it's 74.6 gold to get the same amount of matches with the current crafting. Gold clearly over tripling for the legendary ring. Moving on to the last key factor, and an important one as well, we're going to the gear. Now instead of being a 78% decrease, it is literally just a straight up half decrease. So you have a 50% cut between every single thing here. So because all gear had the same amount of usages, it went from 250 matches to 125 for all of them. So now brass knuckles used to be 4,000 Brawl to get the same 250 matches you usually got. With current crafting, it's now 3,600 Brawl to get the same amount, so it actually went down by 400 Brawl. But gold NFTs did go up slightly, with the new crafting amount being 1 extra gold to get the same amount of matches, so it's 6 gold in total to get 250 matches. Moving on to Trashcans, you can see that it used to cost 7,500 Brawl to get 250 matches. They changed it and dropped it by 2,500 Brawl, so now it costs 5,000 Brawl to get the same 250 matches you used to get. Gold NFTs for the Trashcan actually having gone down 1 crafting wise, so it went from 7 to now 6 to get the same amount of matches. The Sledgehammer's price used to cost 10,000 Brawl to get 250 matches. They now changed that to 8,400 Brawl to get the same 250 matches, so it actually went down 1,600 Brawl. But the crafting amount for the gold NFTs actually stayed the same for this. The only thing that changed was the Brawl, and it went down. For the baseball bat, pretty simple. It actually just stayed the same completely. Steel chair's change was really slight actually. It used to cost 18,000 Brawl to get 250 matches. Now it costs 17,800 Brawl to get 250 matches. So the change in the Brawl is very minuscule. But the gold did go up very slightly. It used to be 18 gold to get 250 matches. Now it's going to be costing 20 gold at current crafting price to get the 250 matches. I hope you guys bared with me. That was a lot to digest, I definitely know. Trust me, I was the one that had to say it all. It definitely felt like a lot. If you guys enjoyed the video, if it was helpful to you, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, your thoughts on the changes. I definitely want to see what people are thinking. Is it better? Is it worse? Do they like, the new meta that's going to be, and what even is the new meta, really? A lot of different things are going to be finding out, and, it definitely makes the game more fun instead of people just, only farming Scotties. Adds variety, definitely adds a lot of variety. But besides that, I hope this was helpful. I hope it made it so you didn't have to, crunch numbers yourself, and I did it for you. I'll see you on the next video, and hopefully it's about the different changes and maybe a new meta. See y'all later. Peace.